time that some people think we should do amendment of who qualifies to ascend to the throne. But those personalities have actually not chosen the right path, in my view. Because I believe we could have still left it where it used to be, get things normalized, then we go onto the table and then consider and look at the pros and cons of the decision that we're going to take. So yes, ideally, the situation has become so horrible because we have decided to interfere into the affairs of kingmakers. And that is why the whole place is so volatile this time around.
The region that you're representing, for example, you're one of the factions in this matter, so you're not immune of blame. You're part of the problem.
Well, you see, when there is a conflict in a society, I think nobody is right. Everybody has some amount of blame to be taken. But one way or the other, if I look at the whole thing, tactically, yes, we think that we have been in control of our people. Not even when kingmakers decided on Bimbilla Chieftancy in 2004, we did not, want to embark on any step that will destabilize the peace of the area.
So what has changed? Because at the moment, you're under curfew.
Yes.
At the moment, your children and your wives, your girlfriends, your mothers, your sisters are being killed. The town has come to a standstill, wouldn't you say?
I will only say that we should be careful of this culture of impunity in the area. Government security agencies and all other stakeholders will have to stand on their feet to make sure...
Are they not standing on their feet?
No, I don't believe that.
To make sure that what happens?
To make sure that perpetrators of crime are drastically dealt with to serve as a deterrent.
Do you have any evidence to the effect that perpetrators of crimes are not being dealt with?
The woman was not shot by mistake. She was shot by somebody who targeted her.
Do you know who?
I will not be able to tell. But what I'm saying is that if there's a suspect, the suspect should be arraigned before court, the suspect should be tried, and accordingly discharged or punished severely. This is not the first time. In 2014, 19th of June, the overlord of Bimbilla, Na and Dani Dasana, was murdered. Suspects were arrested. Up till now, unless of course if you can tell me whether those suspects were tried in any other court of competent jurisdiction, there was nothing like trial. It means that the security agencies did not do a good job there. Those same suspects could have been involved in these same recent incidents. Then in 2015, you recall there was a murder of 9 women and 1 child. Now, the background of that particular incident was that the regent Nyalam Bolguna gave a notice to do some enskinment in Bimbilla.
And that, according to reports, we know that the government asked you to hold on.
Government did not ask us to hold on, no. In fact, I don't want to speak factionally today.
Okay, you shouldn't.
But I am saying that government did not ask us to hold on. And I say this clearly.
So you went ahead, you did what you wanted to do, and people died.
We gave a notice to security that we were going to do the enskinment. The security came to tell us that finally that they would wish that we do it within the early hours of the day between 12 o'clock and 1, and not after 3 as usual. In fact, we complied. We did exactly that. The security were at the palace, police were there, military were there, the BNI and other officers were there. We ended the program ended at the palace successfully. All the chiefs who were in skin left the place on their way to their communities, then the whole thing started. At that time, they got home only to realize that the women were killed.
What do you expect to happen for all of this killing and violence to end in Bimbilla?
Yeah, if government can come out, support the Chief Justice to fast track the process.
So that will mean government interfering in the judicial process.
What is happening? A case has been pending before the Supreme Court for close to 3 years now. Because it's over 2 years now. The National House of Chiefs came out with its verdict, I think that was in 2015. Yes, 2014. And since then, the case has been appealed at the Supreme Court. And so, our other counterparts have it that the fact that the case is pending before the Supreme Court comes with an automatic stay of execution. And therefore, we do not have the right to practice as a traditional council, though the regional House of Chiefs had ruled in our favor. The legitimacy of the chief or the regent was challenged at the High Court. The verdict came in our favor. And yet still, they thought that the appeal at the Supreme Court had an injunction on the previous verdicts, which we contested that it is not true. If indeed there is an injunction, then the Supreme Court will definitely have to serve the palace and said, look, your case is currently pending at the Supreme Court, and therefore you do not have the right as the traditional head to function as such. But we have not received any service to that effect.
How long will people continue to die in Bimbilla until you both factions make up your mind to just stop this, put an end to this?
Yeah, we think that as soon as possible. Now.
So why don't you just come to an agreement, come to an understanding and stop the killing?
It has to do with government and, for that matter, politicians leaving the chieftaincy issue to the people of Nanu.
Okay. Which politicians are interfering?
I am using the word politicians.
Which politicians are